Morning, everyone. It's the 17th of March. We are Signal Centre Talking Ball. Joe Neighbour, Ian Coleman, Steve O'Hare. Morning, guys.
Morning,
Good
all.
morning.
Everybody okay?
Yeah, limit up
Yeah,
today.
Still lurgy free?
Yeah,
I've got a house full of chesty coughs, but
chesty coughs. That
chesty
Russian
coughs,
thing.
chesty cough, yeah. But
It's not the Chinese virus then.
no,
Did you
no,
see what Trump
we've got something.
said last night?
Go on.
He tweeted. He just like said, "Oh yeah." Anyway, the sort of like the Chinese virus. Blah 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 blah.
Is that what he's
Uh,
called it?
yeah, everyone's gone mental. You
So,
racists.
somebody's just posted a sort of a timeline thing of all his comments from January the 12th or something. You know, it won't come over here. Blah 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 blah. And then literally every single thing he's just backtracking on and making himself look like a complete
If he
dickwad.
if he can make himself look any more of a dickwad.
He should just be quiet, shouldn't he?
He should, yeah. I mean, they must have the guys that sort of write what he has to say. He just must be going, no, what are you doing?
We didn't say that.
You don't say that. He
Have you
just,
seen that guy who does the
yeah,
sketches of it?
yeah, does the
Room
sketches
next
on it.
door or something.
It's brilliant. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
classic. Okay, so yesterday we had a couple of stabs at some trade ideas, and Steve, you had a nice winner on copper, if I'm right.
Copper, yeah.
That 2.2R. I got stopped on euro dollar, and Ian made a 0.22R loss on euro sterling.
All about timing.
Yes, unfortunately so. Okay, so news-wise, anything significant overnight? Obviously, we had the press conference yesterday from Boris.
Loads. Well, I've got a little scrap bit of paper here somewhere.
Boris and the two medical guys, science and medical guys, Andrew and can't remember the other guy's name, Professor something.
They came across really well,
hold
didn't
on,
they?
let me
Yeah, they
stop
did.
you there. Let me stop you there. My copper trade was 3R.
Oh, he's trying to nick
Yeah,
a
I
bit
thought
out of you.
thought you were trying to fucking do me. I don't get it right often, and you've actually short at 2.41. Target was 2.365.
Yeah.
Stop was 2.425.
Did you hit the target?
Maybe not. I did hit. Yeah.
Can you hear my children arguing? I shall mute myself.
No, that's right. I'm sure I did. Yeah.
I just went by the 9 o'clock.
Oh, did you now? Yeah, it got down to 2.3.
Okay. Well done.
Yeah, well done. I've got to really work for these. I don't get it right often, mate.
You got 3R. Nicely done.
Nice.
Looks like a sell again today.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So news-wise, Ian, you got some news for us when your children stop?
Yeah, well, it's only one of them. It's the oldest. He's not a child. He's 21, but he's fucking acts like one. US stock had its worst day since 1987 yesterday.
Yep.
And fears of recession. Airlines have asked to go on 8 weeks unpaid leave.
That was Virgin, wasn't it?
Yeah. WHO has basically told all governments to test. G7 said that they'll do what is ever necessary to stem the sell-off, and the IMF is ready to inject $1 trillion into the financial system. US, especially New York, has been closing bars and restaurants. Credit Suisse has started to recommend that their clients tentatively start buying stocks for long-term investment, and Morgan Stanley reckon that we could be near the base.
Yeah, of course we are. They'd like it to be near
That's
the base.
where the news goes, straight in that bin.
It's near their base.
Yeah.
I think the funny thing is, you sort of like hear about the numbers that they're piling into this to prop up the stock market. I can pile it into finding a vaccine, finding a cure, finding whatever. Pump it into the medical system instead of pumping it into your bank.
Exactly.
You idiots.
It just goes back into the rich people's hands, doesn't it?
Of course it does.
Difference.
I mean, there's all these promises. Oh yeah, don't worry, we'll have money for the sort of man in the street. No, you won't. I bet that the paperwork to fill out to try and get some money back, will take you forever.
As a form of quantitative easing, they gave whatever it was, the billions and billions of pounds, split it up between everybody in the country as a credit note to spend in the stock market. So you had to go and buy into a stocks and shares ISA or something like that.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, like that.
Can't just go and spunk it down the pub.
No, and you have to hold on to it
No.
for X period. So the money's
See, that's
going
what you're
into the
battling with.
market.
You're battling with pub vendors.
Yeah, but there's no other way of redeeming this voucher unless you put it into an investment, and you have to hold on to it for X period. Maybe, I don't know.
That's not a bad idea, though.
At least the money's then going into the market, and it's benefiting people at the lower end.
There's no point in giving people cash at the moment because you're not going to be allowed out soon.
They're just going to buy a toilet roll with it.
Give everyone a $3,000 credit note or something across the country to go and spend it in a stocks and shares ISA, and then hold on to it for 2 years or something.
People have just started to twig round here that you are also, if you're locked up for 3-4 weeks, you're going to need some booze. It was the booze aisles were starting to get depleted yesterday.
Oh, let's start making some moonshine. I'm going to convert my little blow up hot tub into just making some beer or something.
Yeah, it doesn't alcohol lower your immunity as well. So it's sort of like, alcohol lowers your immunity.
You don't care though, do you?
You don't care as much, no. But yeah, I think it's sort of obviously some sort of scary numbers and scary facts come out yesterday. But everyone's got to try and sort of like focus on the actual numbers themselves. And when you analyze the numbers, the the amount of people it will affect is seems to be getting grossly exaggerated, taking the numbers into account at the moment.
So how long are we away from complete lockdown in the UK, do you think? I mean,
2 days.
went as far as saying that don't go to bars and pubs.
2 days, I reckon.
They didn't say they were actually shut categorically, did he? You said don't go to them, which...
Yeah, I think you're sort of, it's all a bit of a, it seems to be what they're doing is trying to, still letting kids go to school, so letting them get letting them pick up the virus, bring it home. Most people will be all right, sort it out in the house, lock yourselves in for a couple of weeks, so you'll sort of self-contain it. So that's why they're still keeping schools open. I think shutting schools down may not necessarily be the right answer because you're just compounding it. How long do you shut schools down for? 6 months? I mean, you can't. That's not going to. The kids aren't going to stay inside for 6 months.
No,
they're still talking about it, trying to drag it out till half term, and then after half term, just keeping them closed as long as they need to.
Yeah,
which is what 1.5 weeks away, isn't it?
But I think that's the thing. I think that the tactic of the UK government must be to sort of like try and get people infected without actually saying it. That's what it feels like, and that's probably not the best idea in the world. It's probably not the worst idea in the world, because I think if we all sort of like locked ourselves down right now, this moment, for 4 weeks, in 4 weeks' time, we're going to come out. There's still going to be people that have got it because it's going to be infecting like 5 members of the family week after week after week, and then all of a sudden it's going to start again.
Hit the people that haven't been infected.
Yeah. So
I read about the previous flus that they've had is that they come in a couple of waves. So we'll get through this into the summer where it'll all slow down, and then come the winter season again, you get another kick of it.
Yeah.
It'll come back round.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, none of us. Doesn't seem like anyone really knows. There's a lot of medical experts sort of guesstimating as well. So you just got to be sensible. That's what you've got to do. You just don't socialize as much. It just it's not the. I was going to say it's not the end of the world, but it feels like it. Doesn't it?
It will be if you can't go down to the pub for 4 weeks. That sounds like the end of the world to me.
Well, listen, order a home brewery kit and learn how to make it yourself.
I can't keep on carrying all those tins down to the basement.
You've got a basement as well. It should be.
Don't give everybody my address. It's loaded with gear down there now. Loaded. One side is just toilet rolls.
So it's you, is it? It's you that's got the toilet rolls.
I hit the pasta about 6 weeks ago. It was me that started the trend.
I was walking along the aisle yesterday and some woman had like 2 big 12-packers. I just picked up one and threw it across the aisle, and she just wasn't impressed.
I can imagine she wasn't. Okay, so obviously very sharp losses on the equity indices yesterday. Anybody feeling like they are worth a buy?
No.
Not based on the fact that sentiment is absolutely rock bottom and everybody's saying sell it.
Yeah,
is it now the time to think about?
You just got to pick your rally points, haven't you?
I still think we've got a long way to go. I think the sort of like the real horror stories of the businesses failing will still got to come.
As a disclaimer, though, you are a perma bear, aren't you?
I am, and this is my moment to shine. Listen, I said the DAX would never go above 7,000, and I said that back in 2008 or 2009. I can't remember what it was.
It went to 3 times that, did it?
Yeah, but it kept bouncing off 7,000. I said, look, that's it. That's the top. And then we said 10,000
from there.
10,000 was the big figure, and it was like never get above there.
You still got some of those in the bottom drawer, Steve.
So yeah, you're hoping that's coming back to break even.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I've held on, put them in the bottom drawer. Fine.
Yeah.
We're not far away. I mean, it's only 1,500 points away. It's nothing.
As a percentage, you need
what,
18.5%.
Yeah, that'll do. No, I honestly think sort of if you think about like fib retracements and you think about the stock market rally we've had from 2008, we've still got a chunk of a way to go. We've had what is it, not nearly 40%? Is it nearly 38%?
Yeah,
Should we get a chart up and not
2009. The crash in 2009 and the crash in 2001 both were about 50% in the UK stocks.
Right, let's get a.
What are you looking at?
I don't know.
Yeah,
look,
the US
this is my monthly chart on the Dow.
Yeah, if you look at the European market, it's a far different story.
Yeah,
and obviously we had the Greek debt shit.
Yeah,
and,
but look, I mean, even now we can sort of like this trend line. Okay, we can sort of it's broken that trend line quite aggressively. It was a nice trend line. Well, that wasn't the trend line actually. That was the fib line. Here, that was the trend line. Broke it nicely. Not really a great trend line though. That's a trend line there.
Get on those lows.
Okay, there we go. We're below that.
Not
now.
Close yet,
Fucking start panicking now. We just went limit up bid on the US equities, and
European equities are off now, though.
Yeah, but it's because the US are not bid anymore. They've just collapsed.
So what's Spider doing?
Well, that was up.
They're open again, aren't they?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They've collapsed.
Up 2%.
Yeah. So that was 6.5% up about an hour ago. So
in other words, still rallies.
So listen, I've got my little calculator here. This is my little calculator I built last night at 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep because I was so excited about the limit up. I was thinking, right, I've got to get up early enough to buy limit up. Missed it, but then I sort of like had bids below because it keeps. If you look at the chart, it hit the limit up and it'll drop down a little bit. Hit the limit up, drop down a bit, and now it's rejected the limit up. Now we've got to look at the levels of where it'll actually shut down, limit down again. It's only 500 points. It's only which sounds like a lot. It's not a lot in the Dow. So I don't know. We could be limit down again by the time the US opens. I can't see why. I didn't see why it was limit up. I don't know what news came out, but it's just people. It's the market's being funded by money. Feeders. It's a short term fix that you've got to let this play out. And if you sort of like shoot all your bazookas now, well, just shoot all your bazookas now. Take me on. You're going to pay for it. 50% retracement, I think.
This is the monthly chart on the FTSE 100. So this is the crash that started in December 2009 down to the lows in 2003. Then we had this sell-off here, which was the 07 to 09. So, talking sort of 18 months to 2 years to completely play out. This is obviously the latest edition of a crash. And if you're going on what the average is, we're talking about 50% over the last two. So that takes us somewhere down here, which is close to 4,000.
I like that because that lines up with that 261.8% fib in the S&P, which is at 1965.
Yeah, so maybe there is further to go. But as Steve said, obviously we've got the initial panic now, but there's going to be throughout the next few months, 3 to 6 months, businesses failing and economic indicators are all going to be much lower. So maybe it's just going to be a drag drip lower rather than, the big aggressive sell-offs that we've seen now. So a prolonged bear market potentially for a number of months.
See, that's quite a good horizontal line you can draw from them from 2000 and yeah,
Those?
there, yeah. See, that's a good first target. What's that? 4790.
Yeah.
I mean,
think
what's that?
That's
61.8 200 points
sell
away
as well. Oh no, just below.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
like that hypothesis. How would you say that?
Hypothesis.
Hypothesis. Because that would mean that that's the fifth wave in Elliott wave, and that is normally the hardest wave to trade to the downside.
Yeah. Okay. So has anybody got anything they think they can make some money on today?
Euro sterling.
Go on, Em.
Again. Let's move this up there. We mentioned a 91.47 level yesterday. We mentioned this fib. Let's just pull this in a bit. So quite an aggressive move to the upside, obviously. And then we've got this wave 1, 2, short 3 and 4, up in 5, overextended to 261.8%. We mentioned 91.47 yesterday, which I was just talking to Joe this morning. It's called a TDST, which is off DMARC, and it's where the count flips. If you want to read more about it, the books are free online, I believe, these days. So
can't be a very good book if it's free.
Tom DeMarc doesn't know it's free. Trust me.
No, he doesn't. No. DMARC indicators by Pearl, which is published by Bloomberg.
I've got a copy of it if anyone wants it on PDF. So
91.47 was what the level that we mentioned yesterday, and we haven't got support down until here, 88.60. So I'm having another go at this to get my 0.22 loss back from yesterday. We've also had a TD flip this morning on an outside bar, which I quite like. So 90.95, 90.95, 88.60. I'll get a tighter stop than that, 91.50 to get some decent R. 4.27 R.
Okay, I must have had about 5 attempts at trying to trade that short in the last couple of weeks. Not worked. Steve, you got anything?
Nothing that I've honestly that I've got confidence in. It's right bang in the middle. Do you want me to have a go, or have you got something you might still struggling?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to do something.
Yeah, I mean, again, just sort of like reiterate this. This level here in the Dow is a great target. 61.8% retracement. It's just that's a normal retracement in any market. So, could see it down to 15,000, around about there in the Dow. So I'm going to buy it. No, only joking. No one got that. No one's listening, obviously.
We are.
So let's take a little look at the price action in the last few hours. We saw this limit up. There's limit up. Then there's the rejection of limit up. So where are we heading? Are we going to go down to limit down to limit down's around here? It's right in bang in the middle. So I'm a little bit. I'd rather wait and see. I'd rather wait till it gets a bit closer than contemplate it. Gold, silver's been hammered. Oil is below the $30 mark. I think looking to sell that earlier this morning on a rally, but it didn't quite rally far enough.
What's the VIX up to?
80.
Went to 80.
Got up to 85.
Oh.
Yeah. Should we sell the VIX? Do I think volatility's going to stop? No.
Doubt it.
Right. This is a real, being a bear, I'm going to sell it. I'm locked in. Was it 206.80? By the time I write this,
You'll be stopped.
206.84. Let me add my stop to 209.84. Oh, no, that's the target, isn't it? 209.84. And let me have a target. My target today will be 18,500. How about that? What's the risk reward on that? It's 10 risk reward. I'll tell you what.
I thought you weren't doing those anymore.
No. Well, this is an easy one. I'm an ultra bear, so it's easy. All right, I'll change it. So the stop is just in front of the 5% marker, so it will be a proper stop. 22184. What's that say? No. 21184. So 21184 still gives me 4.37 risk reward. I'm happy with that.
Lovely.
So getting short at 20684, stop at 2184. Stop at 21184. That's a 500-point stop, and the target is 18,500, which will be just in front of the 13% breaker. That's what I'm going for.
We were close to the breaker at the close yesterday, weren't we? I know.
It hit the breaker. It hit the 7% on the close, especially Nasdaq. Nasdaq's the one that's a little bit scares me a little bit. The others are a little bit easier to sort of like to judge, but Nasdaq, obviously, the components of the Nasdaq are a little bit more seem to have more in them. There's more volatility in them at the moment.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's me.
Okay.
I'll let you go.
Thanks, mate. I still can't find anything that I really want to buy or sell. I'm going to have a punt at shitcoin.
What about if your life depended on it? What would you do?
Stay in cash.
You can pass. Should we have a little pass? You can play a pass if you want.
No, fuck that. No passes. Okay, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Let's have a look at this. Just really short-term charts. 4 hour. That was what I was looking at before, but that didn't work. So I get rid of that. Potentially some sideways action taking place here. So some potential for a corrective move higher. I'm going to buy it at market, which is 53.18. And I'm going to target a move up here to the underside of these lows, which is at 7,570 with a stop at 4,776. So 4.6 R on that one. Highly speculative and very low confidence. So probably a good buy.
Goodbye.
Yeah, so that's my punt of the day on Bitcoin.
Okay,
lovely.
Data wise, anything out of any note?
Nobody gives a shit, do they?
No, they don't really. German ZEW, UK unemployment at 9:30, German ZEW at 10, and US retail sales at 12:30. But it might all be.
You never know.
No, I think the next announcement we're waiting for is complete lockdown, isn't it? And then we'll see how the markets react to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
Wrap
Thanks
it up
for
there,
watching, everyone.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye-bye.